Germany was once Europe's unstoppable engine, the nation that powered the EU, built the world's best machines, and exported one in every 10 products made on Earth. But today, that same engine is sputtering. The country that defined stability is now struggling to stay afloat. Factories are closing, exports are sinking, the economy is shrinking for a second straight year. And now, for the first time in generations, Germany's government is breaking its own most sacred rule, placing a 500 billion euro bet to rescue the nation. It's a staggering sum, 15% of Germany's entire economy, and a radical move for a country that's spent decades priding itself on frugality and balanced books. For years, fiscal discipline was Germany's religion. Never borrow more than you can repay, never spend more than you earn. That rule built Germany's reputation at Europe's rock. But when the foundations start cracking, even the most cautious builder must gamble. If this colossal bet succeeds, it could reignite not just Germany, but all of Europe. If it fails, it could drag the continent's entire economy down with it. So, how did Europe's strongest economy end up here? Germany's story is unlike any other modern power. While most wealthy nations evolved from building things to provide services, Germany stayed loyal to manufacturing. Its wealth came from tangible goods, cars, machines, tools, exported across the globe. Nearly half its GDP came from exports. In cities like Wolfsburg, home to the world's largest car plant, a single factory produced more vehicles than entire countries like Italy or UK. This export machine created a constant inflow of foreign money. Germany sold far more than it bought, building a massive trade surplus and filling government coffers with tax revenue. It didn't need to borrow like others. The system fueled itself. But there was one fatal weakness. It depended entirely on the world's appetite for German products. If demand fell, everything would crumble. And yet, instead of diversifying, Germany doubled down. In 2009, it locked fiscal restraints into its constitution with the debt brake, limiting borrowing to just 0.35% of GDP each year. Investors loved it. Interest rates dropped, and confidence soared. For a decade, it worked perfectly. Unemployment hit records low, exports boomed, Germany became the economic model everyone wanted to copy. Then, everything broke. The pandemic halted global trade overnight, slashing exports by over 10%. Factories shut down, car production plunged, and GDP collapsed by 5%. The worst drop since World War II. Before recovery could begin, Russia invaded Ukraine, cutting off 55% of Germany's gas supply. Energy prices exploded. Steel mills, chemical plants, and auto factories couldn't afford to run. Production halted again. By 2024, the economy had shrunk by over $200 billion. Unemployment topped 3 million, and Germany was trapped in a recession it couldn't legally spend its way out of. The debt brake, once its proudest safeguard, had become a cage. Then came pressure from abroad. The United States threatened new tariffs on German exports and demanded higher defense spending. It was an impossible squeeze, so in early 2025, Berlin made a historic decision: suspend the debt brake and unleash a €500 billion recovery plan, the largest in the country's modern history. The money will pour into two main areas. About 300 billion euros will rebuild Germany's crumbling infrastructure, repairing bridges, modernizing rail lines, and expanding broadband to connect industry faster than ever before. Another 100 billion euros will find a climate and transformation fund, investing in offshore wind farms, solar plants, and green manufacturing. The goal? Replace Russian energy, cut costs, and give factories a new lifeline. It's an audacious plan, one that could create over 1 million jobs and return the economy to growth within 2 years. But the risks are enormous. Germany isn't just another country, it's the guarantor of Europe's financial stability. When nations like Italy or Greece face crisis, it's Germany's money that keeps them afloat. If investors begin doubting Berlin's strength, the entire European Union could face financial turbulence. Already, some warning signs are flashing. Bond yields are rising, credit agencies are watching. The government will spend $40 billion each year just to service this new debt, just as much as the entire national education budget. A small rise in interest rates could add tens of billions more. Germany's gamble is now a race against time. If the investments deliver quickly, they could spark a new wave of productivity and restore confidence. But if delays, bureaucracy, or cost overruns take hold, the country could find itself buried under the very debt it once swore to avoid. This is more than a stimulus. It's the death and rebirth of an entire economic model. For decades, Germany's strength came from restraint, from trusting its industries and exports to carry the load. Now, it's turning to state-driven investment on a scale unseen since the post-war era. The question is simple but monumental. Can a developed nation still buy its way back to growth? Germany's answer will echo far beyond its borders. If it works, it could redefine how advanced economies are rebuilt in the 21st century. If it fails, it may mark the end of the German miracle and the unraveling of Europe's most trusted pillar. Subscribe.